lot of different people have given me input over the years that I've kind of molded into. I can pretty much teach anybody how to do anything we do. And I've learned that if I am steering you in a way that you're not learning, then I'll alter how I'm going about it, whether it's repetitions or visual or finding literature on the internet. It's something that I don't have one set way to teach anybody. Stephen learns different than Daniel, learns different than Cody. I mean, everybody I can give a little bit of information to and they pick up on it right away. Some people you gotta go through a daily checklist.
Yeah, and everybody learns, like you said, everybody learns a little different. Everybody's personality is a little different. Some people are a little more amped up. Some people are a little bit more slow in their thinking. And as I look across our guys here, I think I can see each one of them in that when I say that. So that does make it where you have to morph a little bit your approach, and that's why the core value of emotional intelligence is so important. So like being able to know how Daniel might learn versus Steven might learn versus Ian versus Eugenio or somebody. Everybody learns a little bit different, and so in the PPA, the academy, it makes it tough. But shoulder to shoulder is always really helpful, even when you're teaching somebody from the very beginning how to hold a paintbrush. You almost have to take their hand and hold the brush in there, physically hold the brush in their hand. And it sounds so simple, but so, okay. When I think about Troy Zook, I think about the Simon Sinek video that we showed you guys early on in the academy, and that is the high trust, high skill. And I've watched you grow in that skill level. So but our core value of integrity, tell us about a time when you were challenged to do the right thing because you had a tough client. Don't be too personal on this.
So, I mean, just recently, when I go out and I do a lot of the warranty work, if something that, we have weather issues, in Indiana, it's very common that, just something you could have a speck of dust under a piece of paint and a year later it starts to peel. It's something that, we always go back and we always address. So a lot of times when I'm on, I'll go to a peeling paint issue and I'll have, a customer say, hey, I think this is done wrong, or, it's just a fail, or a lot of times people think that we did something wrong just because of a routine failure, or, something that was unforeseen, a piece of wood rotted and the paint peeled, and, we was the last ones to touch it. So a lot of times that looks like we did something wrong. So, when I go to a job to address one thing and we get a lot of other stuff, I think this should be part of the warranty too. A lot of times I look at it, just a few days ago, fixing a piece of vinyl siding because a ladder hit it. As I'm at the customer's home, we're walking around and spotted some other things that weren't warranty issue, but to the best of my abilities, I know that I can fix these things. It's not you're not gonna spend 4 days there fixing them. You can address them very quickly. And so we ended up sanding down, Jim's door frame and repainting the door frame, repainting some other little areas around the house that there wasn't anything wrong with, but the customer just was unhappy with.
Yeah.
And, spending, an hour and a half making a customer happy because you can, is always going to be worth it.
And I love that what that ultimately is this second mile activity, right? And the Bible talks about going the first mile. The first mile is what you paid for. The second mile is not what you paid for. And the second mile is when you give something to somebody beyond, and then you win them for life in that thing. And that's part of integrity. That's part of a lot of things, but doing the right thing and doing the right thing for the company in that. So, all right. So how do you maintain a good attitude? How do you do that? Because sometimes when you're working with tough clients, you can have bad attitude.
Yeah, it's, I maintain a good attitude because at the end of the day, what kind of drives me to do everything that we do is is the praise that you get, when you complete something. I had a very small family growing up. I didn't get a lot of you did goods. So that's where I think I find a lot of pride in this work, is because I have people that I've never met before,
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, "Oh, that looks great." Something as simple as, as long as I've been doing this, that I find extremely easy. I do it, 3 times a week, that they don't know how to do. They call us, they hire us because they either don't know how to do it, can't do it, or they just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And getting somebody to tell you you did a good job, even on days that you don't feel 100%, even days that you only put in 60% effort, that 60% effort to them
Mm-hmm.
is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a satisfaction that is very, there's not a lot of jobs that you can work. And I've done a lot of different things. I've sold cars, I've sold
Mm-hmm.
electronics, I've worked on cars. I mean, I've done a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And the satisfaction that this industry provides you as just a person,
Mm-hmm.
not even as an employee, as a person,
Right.
is just unmatched.
Yeah, you step away from a house, you're like, and you turn around and look. And I've said to these guys before, I've been guilty of painting a house, go 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 go. I mean, you guys have seen me work that way, and then I forget to turn around and really appreciate what I did, and be like, wow, we did good with that, right? And so versus I'm like, let's go to the next job. So it's good to take pause, look back, kind of reflect a little bit on what you did, reflect on what people are saying, and this is true about many of you. Some of you who don't have as long a time here, and so, but I believe this will be true about all of you at some point. Is that we have clients that will call us and say, I want to have Troy work on our job, and I don't want anybody else. And that's sometimes I'm like going, okay, Troy won't be available for 3 months, but or whatever. But that speaks a lot to Troy and his diligence, and just his experience and his time here. So you've been with Heritage almost, I think you're the longest standing employee since the merger, for sure. And so in 2019, why are you here at Heritage?
I'm here because there's very few companies that you will ever find that the owners take care of you like these people do. These guys will look to your best interest sometimes more than you do your own. It's a case of where they're constantly going to find ways to provide you with things that you might not even know you need yet. And they will step up to the plate and do that before before you know it. It's something where, whether it's training, whether it's, providing you with anything you might need. If you need something physical, hey, I need this tool. It will help me be more productive. They will tell you to go buy it. I've worked with a lot of different people, like we've talked about, and these guys take care of you more than you do yourself. It's just how it is.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Last question is, and this is a dream manager question. Like, I want all of us to be thinking, and all of these guys that are existing employees, they've been given a book. And it's the dream book. And so I want us all to dream. There's a lot of times where we're working and we're just kind of mindlessly painting or mindlessly rolling or doing something along those lines. And you're thinking, right? Your brain's going. You're thinking about, what am I doing after work? I start thinking about lunch about 9 a.m. I'm thinking about lunch, thinking about whatever. And so what do you dream about? Like, big picture dream. Not necessarily Mexican or lunch, tacos at lunch, but what do you dream about?
I mean, it's, when work-related things, I mean, a lot of times are constantly on my mind. we've added the carpentry onto my plate, and it's something that it pushes me to dream about, another step in my progression of, figuring everything out. It's something that I'll never be able to change about myself. I want to know how everything works, and provided, all the opportunities to me, that's something that I dream about is what's the next big thing? What is going to be next that I can say I can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you dream about? That's on the work side. What do you dream about on the family?
So
or
on my family side, me and my wife, we had at the end result, at the end of the long work shift, it's we want to be able to just travel. We both have a common interest in just leaving everything behind and just traveling, not going home at the end of the day, but being at home all the time. We both love the outdoors. I mean, that's kind of where we want to end up.
That's a fun thing, traveling. That would be awesome to see that happen. So look forward to seeing that happen for you. Thank you, Troy, for being willing to step outside your box.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, give him a hand.